Dooby-doo. What's up, vegan? See who's on here tonight or who's available tonight. What's up, Clint Cole? Scoot up here a little closer. What's up, Abraham? I'm still got the, I still haven't got my new mic yet. I got a deal on it, so it's going to take me longer to get it. So hopefully we'll make it through for a little while. I've been able to, whenever I've been editing my videos, I think, again, I still don't know if it's the mic or an update, but whenever I edit my videos, I've been doing the audio like at 200%, and it's made it a little bit better on those, but we'll just have to see how it goes tonight. Which mic? I just bought the new version of the, whatever it's called. Let's see. Hollyland. I bought the version 2, and it came with, it's like little circle ones instead of like this, and it comes with magnets and stuff where you can just stick it on wherever you want to, and then it came with, I can hook it up to my iPad, which is the lightning cable. I can hook it up to my phone, which is USB-C, or I can hook it up to anything else with the audio cord. So I was gonna get the, what was it? You sent me something about the DJ something or other. I almost got that one. I was gonna get that one, but they had this one. They had the one that I got on sale for like $130, and that was a pretty good deal for, because it was the complete set basically, and I got two receivers or two transmitters, whatever. I guess one receiver, two transmitters in it too. So I think I got it for like $130. I only had one question this week, which I answered it in the comment. Yeah, I almost got a Rode mic too. I've had a Rode mic in my list for a long time because it seems like that's like the one most people use. But I've had pretty good luck with this one though, I think. Congrats on the channel growth. What's up, Upstate Maverick? That's what I'm going to do tonight. I took some screenshots of some stuff that YouTube sent me about the year, like how my channel did over the course of the year. So I'm going to go through some of those. I only had one question, so I'll go ahead and we'll hit that one up now. Let me pull up that question. And I answered this in the comment, and I think I could answer it. I'm just going to show it in case. My girlfriend has the DJ one and loves it. Yeah, that was the, I think that's the one vegan told me about. I put it in my list. I've had a Rode one in my list for a long time. But then the price on this one, I just couldn't pass it up, because even if I bought a Rode one, it was going to be like the single, just one microphone. This thing was a set of two of them, so even if later on I want to get a Rode mic or something, I'll just keep this new set I've got coming for, like if somebody else is out here with me or something like that. So let me get this out of the way. So the only question that I really had this week that I was going to answer on this anyways, that I didn't feel like I could answer was, and this was, let me see, it's going to be a name I won't know unless I read it. IDKLOL603. He commented on the Klein 13-in-1 screwdriver video, which is, this one. They've got a 15-in-1 that's kind of like it now, I think, with the black, and that's the whole black and orange thing. He was asking, does it take the standard 1-inch long bits? Of course, inside of this one, it comes with all the double-sided bits that are yay long. It's pretty deep down in there as far as how far this fits. So get a 1-inch bit. Here is a Vera. If I put it down in there, it will go, but it goes pretty far down in there. And certain bits, so like if I get a Phillips 2, let me find a Phillips 2 if I can. Or here's a Phillips number 3, I think. So it goes down in there. I think you'd be able to use most bits as far as enough head is sticking out to allow it to happen. But it is going to be hard to get some of them out because you don't have a whole lot to grab onto. And it's really tight in there. So there's going to be some times, like right now, a little hard to get that out. Especially like if you got like a Phillips number 2, I think. You go to grab that and try to pull it out, you may end up having to get your, Cobras or something out to be able to get it. But I would say yes, you can, but it's not really great. the getting it out, it's definitely going to fit in there. I don't think you'll have a problem using that tip. I think it's just going to be a problem getting some of them out. Slotted ones would probably be really hard to get out because you're not going to have a lot to grab onto type thing. But that was the only question that I can think of that I answered, that I was just going to answer to everybody in case that interested you. Pull back the chat back up. Our good Dr. Morgan is looking quite merry. Yeah, I haven't trimmed my beard in probably about 3 or 4 weeks, I guess. Normally I'd go over it with my clippers. I buzz my own hair and trim my beard and all that stuff at the same time, but I've just decided most of my jobs for the rest of the year were all going to be job site type stuff where I was never going to see a customer. So I just thought, well, I'm going to let it grow and see how it looks. I've grown it out once before that was pretty decent. Bruce Johnson said, my wife says you're costing us too much money from your reviews because I buy most of them. I get that quite often. Like I said, there's probably some people's wives out there that hate, like, I watch a lot of different people that do work. Like Mikey Pipes was one of them I watched for a long time. For whatever reason, I love watching HVAC guys' videos. I don't know why it is, which he does some plumbing too. But like what is it he said? He says the same thing at the beginning of all of them, like it's me, Mikey Pipes, or something like that. And she would hear that and be like, oh, not another video from this guy, just because she didn't like watching him. So I said there's probably some people out there who their wives or whoever hears that first little intro of Morgan's Maintenance, that whoosh, and then like, oh, here we go again. Question for you, what's key to staying consistent with uploads? I always get so busy in the summer and making videos falls to the wayside. Yeah, I've never really had like a sketch, like I don't purposely say to myself, I need to get out X amount of videos per week. It's normally just because there's some times where I don't buy any tools or anything for a little while. And you know, it is a thing that's kind of in the back of your head though, that you're like, oh, I haven't made a video for a long time, or it seems like it's been a long time type thing. So I always end up making my videos like if I get home from work early one day, or because it stinks to me. Like if I had a place where I could film when it rained, it would be 1,000 times better, because then I could just come out here and knock out a lot of stuff. And then there's also the temptation of, most of the time whenever I get a tool to review, it is a new tool for the most part. So then it's like, well, I just put out a video yesterday. I probably shouldn't put out another one today. I should like space them out so that I do have plenty of videos to put out here or there. But it's like, if it's a new tool, I like to get it out there so you guys can see it. So even if I put out like here, there, whenever the Klein Mod Box stuff was hitting, like it seemed like I was putting out 2 a day, and then I'd put out another one the next day, and I felt like I was kind of hammering y'all with Klein stuff. But if it's new, I like to go ahead and get it out. I mean, let you guys know that it's out there. So I don't have any kind of system to it. It probably would be better if you just already had enough videos and you could schedule them out and those kind of things, but I just never know when I'm going to get a new tool or all those things. So I don't really have a schedule, and I don't film myself working enough that I can do enough of those things to schedule out. It's not like I'm filming every day while I'm working type thing like some people do too. So yeah, I don't really have a good answer for that, I don't think. What's up, Ray's Apartment Maintenance? For me, I try to keep it consistent until I figure out YouTube, LOL. Yeah, I don't know that I've figured out YouTube either. You'll see that by my statistics that I'm going to share with you. What's up, Bam's Life? What's up, Woodchuck? So I'm going to pull up some screenshots, so I won't be able to, I'll keep coming back to the chat, but if I miss some, I'll get to you eventually. So let me pull up some photos. I wish it would let me hide that. I'm actually going to close that for now. All right, so this is my year on YouTube. They sent this to me maybe 2 or 3 days ago. So whatever's happened in the last 2 or 3 days, it's not in this, I guess. But so far this year, 2024, up to the other day. So I think I've got like I don't even remember now, maybe 23,900 something subscribers or something like that. But basically this year I gained 10.5 thousand subscribers this year. So almost really that's close to half. So there's quite a bit this year. I do know that, let me go ahead and get to this. Let me find this picture because I've got some different things. Yeah, so watch time from subscribers. So 72.6% of all my watch time was from people who aren't even subscribed versus 27.4% are from people who are subscribed. So most of my watch time's not from people who aren't subscribed. So even though I did gain 10,500 subscribers this year, the majority of people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, which I know there's some people out there that just don't subscribe to anything type thing. So, but I also, they say that if you, and I kind of played with this just to see, and I think it's actually true to be honest with you, but I'm still not going to do it. People, they say the way you gain more subscribers is just simply by asking for it, you know, at the end of every video, the beginning or whatever. And I never do that. You know, I figure if you're going to subscribe, you're going to subscribe. But there has been a few times throughout the year where, like, I just say thank you for whatever it is for the multitude of people who have subscribed over the course of whatever that was. Like, I think it was whenever I hit the 20,000 subscribers or whatever it was. And whatever that video was, I got way more subscribers that video than I have on any other video. So there might be some truth to it that if you just simply ask for it. But again, I just feel like it's redundant to sit there and ask for it every single video. I mean, like I said, I feel like if somebody's going to subscribe, they're going to. So again, 10.5 thousand subscribers this year. I got 2.9 million views, which is not a ton, you know, but it's not like I'm in some kind of niche where it's a, you know, people view just also the tool reviews and stuff like that. There's really not that many people who have bukus of subscribers and like lots of views and stuff like that just do strictly probably tool reviews. But that's crazy to me though, because it's like 2.9 million views is what I got all year. And then you go find somebody who's like a big YouTuber and look at one of their videos and it's like more than my whole entire year. I think about all the videos that I made this year and all that kind of stuff, because I had 295 uploads. Now that includes lives like now, that includes videos, Watch Me Works, shorts, all those kind of things. But I put out 295 uploads this year. So of that 295, I got 2.9 million views. Let's see. I hate this phone. 90,000 likes, so that's not too bad for 2.9 million views to get 90,000. I mean, again, the percentage is always, it seems like as I look at my videos most of the time, it seems like it's about 1 out of every 10 views turns out to be a like sometimes, so it's about 10% most of the time. And again, I'm missing y'all's chats, but I'll go back to the chat after every picture. 7,305 comments. So that's pretty good in my opinion too. Again, lots of comments on all my videos for the most part, or enough for me anyways, because like I said, I always make sure I answer every single one, so I can't even imagine if I had more comments than what I have, because that's the big thing I like about this channel. I like commenting back and forth with you guys. So one of these days, maybe it might end up being way too many, but I still try to answer every single one of them. The only time I don't answer somebody, I've noticed, is if you maybe respond in a reply of somebody else, sometimes I don't get notifications for those. Like if you ever just put a comment on a post, I always get a notification for those. I respond to them, but I've noticed sometimes I've went into just videos and looked at some comments and I've noticed some stuff and some replies that I never did see. So if you ever comment in a reply and I don't reply back to you, I don't answer you, you might have to come back out to the main comments and put whatever that comment is, because sometimes that's what's missing. And then 7,193 shares. So 10.5K subscribers, 2.9 million views. So again, I just want to start out by saying I appreciate every single one of y'all. It's crazy to me. I still can't even believe that I even got 100 subscribers, let alone at 24,000 right now. And again, that's not a lot in the big scheme of things compared to other people, but I'm not doing it for that. It is what it is. Let me check the chat and I'll get into the next picture. You guys go ahead and guess, because that's what I'm going to show you next. Go ahead and guess in the comments what you think the top video was of 2024 so far. Like, of the videos I put out this year, what is the top one? I don't guess it's actually got to be, it didn't have to be released this year, but it was the top amount of views over the course of 2024. And I'm gonna go back into the chat. Let's see, where were we at? Jan Hansen said, hello everyone, what's up? Woodchuck said 24K. I was thinking that's where I was. It was like right at it. I would imagine the last video, top 5, would net you tons more views. Yeah, there's some of them that, like, I've mentioned it before. Sometimes I make a video and then the thumbnail, and I'm like, oh, I think this one's probably gonna do pretty good. And then it won't do anything. And then there's certain ones I put up there, I'm just like, I doubt very many people's probably gonna watch this. And then it gets tons of views. I was surprised with the Fujiya ones here lately. Those strippers, I just got them because Matt recommended them to me, and I thought, well, I'll try them, I'll get them. I might as well make a video if I get them, because somebody else, it might be a good fit for them. And I mean, that thing got like 10,000 views. And then the Vera Zyklop was crazy. I didn't think that'd do that either. Going to 100K at this rate, I don't know. I might be, of course, it's kind of exponential. Like, that's what I told a few guys, like Steve's Woodshop. He was asking me about it, and I said, you just got to keep making videos, because you'll think to yourself, I remember whenever I make a video, and if I got like a view an hour, I was like, oh man, somebody watched this. And now I'm like depressed if I don't get, you know, at least 100 views in an hour or something like that. It's just the way that it goes. And again, it's not that I get depressed. I'm just saying it's just an expectation. It's different. And it's something that I told him, I said, as long as you keep making videos, like, you just have to keep doing it, because there at the very beginning, you don't have any subscribers yet, so they're not pushing you or anything like that. You just have to keep doing it, and eventually it all catches up, and then it starts growing like exponentially. What's up, TPG? My best friends won't subscribe, Vegan said to you. It's true, it sounds super dorky, but just keep saying it. Yeah, I just can't do it. I can't do the make sure you subscribe and all that kind of stuff. But I do appreciate everybody. Like I said, 10.5 thousand of you that subscribed this year, and then the other 14,000 of you that were already subscribed before that. I mean, I truly do appreciate it. It makes it's just something I don't really, like I said, I don't want to say that I don't care, because I do care. I appreciate every single one of them, but it's like, it's not like the thing in my mind of, oh, I got to get to this number by now or else it's not worth it to me and all that kind of stuff. But it is motivating, at least, to know that I'm not just out here doing something stupid that nobody wants to watch. It does at least keep you motivated to keep doing it. Upstate Maverick says, does this include short views? I'm pretty sure it's all views. I think so. What's up, John Xterra? John Xterra is going to be in the Guess the Trade reload this Saturday. I did a reload this Saturday so that hopefully I'll be able to film next Saturdays, like, because then I don't have to wait for an answer or anything. If I've got some time between now and Christmas, I can go ahead and get that done so that I'm not waiting around for that. So that's why I did a reload and it was about, I kind of do them in the order of which I get them. So it's John Xterra and then P, and P actually sent me his a long time ago, and for whatever reason, it got deleted off my computer, and he just so happened to email me and say, hey, I was just checking to see where I might be on the list. And I was like, well, to be honest with you, buddy, I'm sorry, but I can't even find your pictures, and that's why I missed you. So I got P and John Xterra both in this Saturday. TPG finally got a laser distance measure. It's not Morgan's fault this time, it's Newman's fault. Woodchuck says, we appreciate you in this group. I'm guessing your most popular is top 5/10 tools from recent. It probably will end up being, but the most popular video, let me go to the little picture, or the most watched video, I guess, is, And that could also do, let's see, because it's got hours watched, so I guess the length of it would play into that, because if more people watch a short than a long video, even though there's more views, it doesn't mean you got more hours watched. But the top video was the top, man, it's blurry. Can't get that to not be blurry. Let's see, here we go. Top 10, but it's from 2023. And the one this year didn't do nothing. Like it was crazy last year during, whenever I put that video out. So that one got 10 point, I gotta get this up there, I guess, to get it to 10.9 thousand hours watched of that video. I don't remember what the view count is on it, but it's like maybe my second highest. But I remember, like, whenever I put that video out, it was like gangbusters, the amount of views it got. And I was like, I told Miss Maintenance, I was like, I don't know what's going on with this video. Like, never happens. Because there's some people, I've even seen where, like, Project Pine Hills, he'll put out a video of the same exact tool as mine. And he's even got just a few less subscribers than me. And it may be that his thumbnails are better, because his thumbnails are pretty good. But for whatever reason, it still wouldn't matter to me, because it doesn't make sense that people still have to see the thumbnail to be able to click on it. So what I'm trying to say is, I think there's some stuff that you can do on YouTube that might make a difference that I have no clue what it is. But that one went crazy. I don't know why. This one this year did okay, but nothing like that one. Like, that one went up to like 70,000 views, like within a day. It was something crazy. But again, I don't know the reason behind it. I have no idea. You're at the mercy of, in my opinion, how YouTube pushes you sometimes. So the next one will be top short. Anybody want to guess on the top short? And then also the top live stream. So go ahead and put your guesses for top short, top live stream. They sent me that too. And then I'll talk about who watches the channel, what countries, what gender, what age group. I've kind of screenshotted those things too. But let me go back to the chat. So vegan said top 5, top 10 tools. So you were right on that. It just wasn't the recent one. It was the one from 2023. But that's just because, you know, it's been out there since the very end of, so it's been there all year for people to watch it, type thing. Wings and pizza, I'd guess it was a video involving either a Vito bag or a Milwaukee tool. I'm sure there was probably something of that in there. John's Exterra, I usually keep black electrical tape on my bag, just not in the photo. Since you don't like to ask, just do what you're doing. Thanking people for liking and subscribing. Sometimes I forget to like, get some in videos, and until someone reminds me. Yeah, like I said, I tried it one time just for giggles, which I was getting on there. I was getting on there to thank you guys anyways, because I hit some milestone. It might have been like 15,000 subscribers. I don't remember what it was, but basically I said in there, you know, I don't ask people to subscribe every video or any of those things, but because I don't ask people to subscribe, that also does, I don't thank people for subscribing, because I don't go through the whole spiel of all that kind of stuff, but I do really appreciate it. But in that video, like whatever video that was, I got more subscribers in that video than I probably got on most of them ever. Abraham said, you know what? I watched the 2023 video several times, start to finish, LOL. And Woodchuck said, same, Clint Co. Terry Burton, if you don't want to ask, why not use the graphic buttons to prompt people to like and subscribe? You should. You do a great job. I never mind the props. Merry Christmas. Yeah, I need to remake my end screen. I made that a long time ago, before I realized that you could put like I can add like and subscribe stuff on the back. Now, I guess what you're saying is during the middle of the video. Yeah, I've seen that pop up on some people's stuff. I guess I could maybe see if I can figure out how to do that. I'm not the most talented when it comes to editing and adding stuff like that, but I'm sure it's not too bad. I can probably figure it out. Yeah, you have to write stupid video titles. Too short, I'll say a plier. For the short, he'll say the pliers video. Oh, Wings and Pizza said you had to write stupid video titles for the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, because I've even quit putting like there for a while. I was always trying to figure out, well, what hashtag is going to be the best. But then like I started looking at other people's videos that gets more views than me, and again with less subscribers, and they don't even have any of that stuff. So I quit doing all that. Like I said, if this was like my job and it was my only way to make money or something like that, you know, then I'd take it like I'd be like, oh, what is this? I'd be studying this algorithm stuff and all that kind of stuff. But this is just something I'm going and buying tools. I'm making videos of the tools I buy so you guys can see them. Every now and then I'm able to film myself work. Most of the time I can't just because of my customers. That's like tomorrow. I've got a job that I got to go to. Some doctor's office called me today. They've got some electrical problems, but I mean, I can almost be guaranteed I won't be able to film any of that because it's going to be in a doctor's office with patients around and all that kind of stuff. So you might as well forget that. But 9 times out of 10, I can't film myself working. So, or it's a time crunch is why I can't do it too. But yeah, if this was my job, I'd be worried about it. Let's see. Top short about a tool, top video about some tools. How did I do? Yeah, I think that's going to be right. You're real and provide useful information. That's why I watched. Chuck Dog said, appreciate that. Would you want it to be a full-time job? Upstate Maverick said, no, definitely not. I love doing what I do. I've said that before. Even let's say hypothetically, something happened and I did get big or something like that and made enough money off YouTube to basically be my income. For one, I love doing what I do. I love fixing stuff. I love figuring out stuff. It's the whole puzzle thing to me. And for two, for the same reason of what I'm saying now, to me it's so random of whether or not YouTube or somebody just decides that somebody watches your video. How much I have no control over it. So it's like I wouldn't want all my eggs put into a basket of I have zero control. And for all I know, you know, YouTube could shut down tomorrow, or you know they could just kick me off the platform, or for something I do, who knows what, I don't know. So I wouldn't want to put all my eggs in that basket. Again, I've liked doing it, and YouTube's been zero problems to me. Like I don't ever get any kind of strikes or anything like that, and you know I've had no issues with them as far as contacting me or anything like that. Everything seems like I can pretty much do everything I'm doing. They have no problem with it. So, but I wouldn't want to base my whole income off of, I have no idea whether or not they're going to push this video or not. What's up, Robert Zellman? Is that a Klein coffee thermos on the back of your bench? Yes, I get comments and questions on that all the time. That's probably my number one question, especially on the shorts, because it's right there front and center. People ask me where I get it, all that kind of stuff. I found this, somebody had it on Facebook Marketplace, but it was like 2 hours away from me and I wasn't going to go get it, but I didn't even know it was a thing. So I started searching for it to see if I could find one to buy, and I ended up getting mine on eBay. And that's pretty much about the only place you're going to find it's probably eBay. I think it was a promotional item. I got to get my hotter coffee. I think it was a promotional item one year. Like if you go into an electrical supply house and, you know, you buy so much Klein, they give you, you know, grill spatulas and that kind of stuff. So I think that's what it was. I don't think it was ever something you could buy. They need to come back out with it though, because a million people ask about it. Let me go back to, I'll show you guys the photos. So top short, and again, this is what I was talking about a minute ago, was new Milwaukee testers and clearance meters at Home Depot. I got to keep doing this so it doesn't get blurry. 2,357 likes, and it's got like a crazy amount of views compared to my other shorts. I mean, it don't have a crazy amount of views compared to other people's shorts, but to my shorts, it's got a ton. And again, that was just one of those where I went in Home Depot one day. Milwaukee had put out those the GFCI testers, the breaker finder that's just like Klein's. And I was like, well, these are out now. People have been kind of asking about them. So I wasn't going to buy them because they're pretty much the same to me as the Klein's, and the Klein's are cheaper. But I was just going to make a short so you guys can know that they're at the store if you've been waiting for them to come out or whatever. And then I think some commercial electric stuff was on clearance or something. I added that in there, and I mean, it's got a ton of views compared to, again, my other shorts. Not a ton of views compared to others, but compared to mine. So for whatever reason, again, I made that one, and I'm like, I'll just make this so that they'll know they're out there. Probably not a lot of people are going to see it. And that one has been gangbusters, like crazy. So you never know. Top live stream was, let's see, and this doesn't tell me anything about the stats on this. It's just probably the most views, I guess, but it doesn't say. And that's the live review of the Klein, the Essential set with the metric and SAE. That's where I went to Lowe's that morning, and that was out. I had just bought the starter kit, and then they put that out the next day. And I wasn't going to be able to make a video. Like I knew I was going to be working all day that day, and I had like jobs backed up, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to have time to go home and make a video for this. But I wanted people to know it was out there because I had just put out the starter kit thing. And in my mind, I was like, well, there's probably going to be some people go buy that starter kit set, and then they're going to rather have this one. So I just wanted to get it out there so you guys would know that it was out there, so that before you bought the starter kit set, you knew this was an option, so you didn't end up buying both or whatever. So that's why I ended up making that one a live stream. I just did it in my truck before I went in to do some work, but that ended up being the top one. So next we got, this should be a pretty good guess, it should be a pretty easy guess, is what gender do you think watches my channel the most? But then guess what percentage, I guess, would be a good question. Guess what percentage, obviously it's probably going to be more male than anything else. So what percentage of male versus female do you think watches the channel? And then I've got age list here of different age groups of who watches me the most. I've got that here. I'll show you that. And then what do you think is the top 3 countries that watch the channel? I've got a list of all the percentages of people from countries that watch the channel as well. Or I'm assuming this is people who are maybe subscribed to the channel, not watch, because they have to have some kind of a basis for that. So the percentages of men versus women subscribed, the percentages of the ages, those ranges are I guess I'll ask, what age group, what age do you think watches the most as well? I guess we could maybe guess that. The other, they're kind of in groups, so I'd have to spend forever giving you all those little names. And then what are the top 3 countries that you think are subscribed to the channel? And then I think that's it. So here's one that, in case you all are looking for new channels, y'all are probably already subscribed to all these, but this is channels that your audience watches. So here's the top ones. So anybody that watches my channel, this is the top channels that other people, that they watch as well as watching mine. So of course, Last Best Tool's up there. I think pretty much most people are subscribed to Last Best Tool. He's got 75.2. It's always backwards on my screen because I do that mirroring thing, so it's hard for me to read it. Project Pine Hills, 16.2. We talk back and forth a lot. We text each other a lot. American Electrician, 42.5 thousand subscribers. Man Caver Tools, 74.1. I haven't seen a lot of stuff from him. Maybe I don't see it. Maybe he still makes a lot of videos. Like, he used to do a lot of videos, and I haven't seen anything for a long time. But maybe he's just not getting pushed to me in my thing. And then the Tool Show, 206,000. 206,000 subscribers. So those are the channels that my audience, people who watch me, also watch those channels. So if you haven't checked out those channels, you know, you might like those as well. That's what a lot of people watch. Let me go back to the chat. Get caught up real fast. Let's see. Alabama Hammer, love to watch me work. Love the watch me work cabinet installation. Yeah, I just put in a bunch of cabinets at a new church building that was being built, and I used my third hand and stuff, same exact way. Jacques Creel, I like Klein hand tools better than Milwaukee. It's nice that they're coming out with more and more. Yeah, there's very few Milwaukee hand tools that I like or definitely would prefer over Klein. But for the most part, all those electrical testers, in my opinion, for whatever reason, they look like they're the same ones, made at the same place. And Kleins are typically cheaper. So, and I've had them already. So it'd be different if I didn't already own like the GFCI tester or the circuit breaker finder. But even still, if I walked into the store today and I saw the Klein sitting next to the Milwaukee and it's like $10 cheaper, they look identical. Both of those brands are fairly well known. I would probably always go with the Klein. John's Exterior, I made a couple YouTube videos. Nobody watched them, but the first time I put a Milwaukee tool doing something, 2,400 people watch it. Yeah, there is a big difference of what you're, because there's certain tools, like especially the ones like I get in the mail, like you know, the thermal imaging cameras and stuff like that. I only get stuff like that if I feel like this is something that, like a thermal imaging camera, to me, not everybody needs one, but it would be nice if everybody had one, especially if you're in the maintenance field or certain type of fields. It's not something I'm going to use every day, so I don't want to go spend $1,500 on this top of the line thermal imaging camera. So if somebody had one and it was like $100 something, $200, something like that, I'm like, I'll go ahead and get it and just see what it looks like and give you guys the look of it and let you see, you know, what it does and those kinds of things. And if it's a fit for you, it is. If it's not, it's not. But I never expect for those videos, like I can already, just because there's nobody is searching, you know, HSF tools for anything. Versus Milwaukee, there's a lot of people who search Milwaukee this and then your stuff might come up. So that does make a difference. Like if it's a bigger name brand, it always does a little bit better. Because it's, again, you go back to 72% of people who watch my stuff are not subscribed. So they're only going to be seeing my stuff if YouTube is recommending it to them based on however they're searching. So if they're a person who always searches for Milwaukee tools, Milwaukee pack out videos, Milwaukee this or that, and then I put out a Milwaukee video, they're not subscribed to me, so they're not getting push my video as a subscriber. They're just getting my video in their browse recommendations because it's Milwaukee. So that's how you end up getting watched by a lot of people. 80% said male. Vegan Cookie said male. 78% male. Wings and Pizza, 97% male. I think that's probably the closest. Arma, 95%. Alabama Hammer, 92. Abraham, 99.9, accounting for the lovely Miss Maintenance's views. Mac says, Joey can't stay. My boys have their championship game tonight. Well, good luck to them, Mac. Project Pine Hill's in here. So, again, a lot of people, my audience watches his stuff. So, if you haven't subscribed or went over and checked out his stuff, make sure you check out his stuff. 96.6%. And then Jacques says US, Europe, and Canada. I think that's pretty close. Yeah. Abraham Perez, US, UK, Australia. Modern Survival Sense, 98% male, most from the U.S. That's right at it. U.S., Canada, Australia. I think it is U.S. and Canada. I can't remember. I'll check here in a second. 95% male, 35 to 55, U.S., Canada, England. So that's really close, I think, on all of them. Alabama Hammer, 40 plus. Germany, UK, U.S. Arma, 15. Let's see. Make age 35 to 44. Man Caver pretty much just does tool deals videos now. So yeah, so maybe that's why I don't see it. Like I said, I'm subscribed to them. So, but just because you're also subscribed to somebody, unless you get notifications or something like that, they still only put them in your feed if you've watched some of their videos, I think, a lot of times. So if I haven't seen something from them, if you haven't seen something from somebody in a long time, it may start kicking them out to where that you don't see them as often type thing, even though they're still making videos and stuff like that. That other channel list was interesting as I'm not subscribed to any of those other channels. So there you go, Wings and Pizza. You need to check it out. You need to go check out Project Pine Hills. He's in here. Question, Morgan, why don't you like the ratcheting screwdriver? It's more so just because I've never really gotten to where I used one for a long time. Like, it's just not something of course, I've used screwdrivers for probably since before there was a ratcheting screwdriver, I guess. And it's just, I can't get, I get them and I forget that it's even a ratcheting screwdriver. I get the purpose of them, like, but so many of the things that I work on, it seems like they're machine type screws. And unless you've got a lot of tension on a ratcheting screwdriver, it doesn't really work all that well. For whatever reason, most of the stuff I work on, it's like it never is catching half the time. So then I got to sit there and deal with it. It's just something I'm faster not using it, in my opinion. I get the appeal of it for certain situations, but for the most part, I just don't care for them. Dinner's about ready, TPG said. What's up, Jason? Be ready. According to Social Blade, you are the 3,557th most popular channel in the U.S. That's pretty neat. That's way higher than I would think. So let me get to those stats. So gender-wise, it was 97.3% male and then 2.7% female. So I don't know what 2.7% is of 24,000, but that's more female subscribers. Which Miss Maintenance is one, and then other than that, I don't know. I've seen very few comment in here, but it's pretty rare for the most part. Age group, so I have 13 to 17-year-olds, so the youngins don't like me at all. And then we've got 18 to 24, which is 6.5%. Again, I'm reading it backwards. If I got it like this, I got to turn it every now and then. So that's the people who are kind of first starting to get into it. So that's Wyatt, the pilot, right there. He's probably in that mix. 25 to 34 is the highest at 26.8%. So right there's people who are kind of in the mix of been in their career for a little while probably, and that's probably where you're starting to figure out, I want better tools type thing. See, that 18 to 24, you're like, I don't want to spend any high money on tools, those kinds of things. But by the time you're in that 25 to 34, you're like, give me that money, or give me the better tool. I just saw where John's Xterra said he's 22, so he's in that mix. 19.8%, so 25 to 44 is pretty close to the same, and that's the bulk of them. 30, let's see, where was that? Yeah, 45 to 54, 19.8%. 55 to 64, 13.3%. And then 65 and plus is 7.3%. So as you get older, you don't like listening to me, and if you're super young, you hate my guts apparently. So that's where we're at with the gender, or with the age groups. As far as the countries that watch the channel, United States comes in at number 1 at 68.8%, and then Canada 5.3%, number 2, and then United Kingdom, the UK, at 2.9%. And I'm actually kind of like shocked by that but again, I guess when you think about it, 5.3% of 25,000 is a decent number, but there's a lot of people who comment on the channel that I talk back and forth with that I know that are UK and Canada. So I actually expected that to be a little bit higher than that. Germany, 1.3%. I think some of you said that. And then Australia was 1.1%. That was some of y'all's guesses too. And then as you go down from there, you got Mexico is 0.9, France 0.5, Netherlands 0.4, Japan 0.4, and then Spain's blocked off. It's 0.42. So United States, Canada, United Kingdom, top 3. Germany and Australia is about the same percentage, and then other than that, it's just small numbers there. And again, watch time from subscribers, I showed that a minute ago, but in case you're new in here, 72.6%. So out of all my views, very little of it is the 24,000 that's watching. I thought I had one more thing I said in there, but maybe not. So again, there's the overall statistics again for this year in case you're coming in late. 10.5 thousand subscribers, 2.9 million views of my 295 uploads. So I don't know what 10.5 is divided by 295, or 10,500 divided by 295. You're looking at about roughly 3 times 10. So about, was that a 3,000 average or something like that per view or per video? Of course, again, some of those are shorts. They get more. Actually, though, a lot of my shorts don't get very many views. I only make the shorts mostly because I know some people only watch shorts, and so I just kind of do them as a, here's this tool, I've got a longer video if you want to know it, but here it is, it's sold here type thing. It's a new tool, so if you didn't know it was out there, here it is type thing. But let me get back to the chat. Let's see. I'm the same way. I try to reach any screwdriver. I tried ratcheting screwdrivers and it just didn't work for me. Yeah, it's just, I think it's my line of work or something. Like I said, anytime I use it like in a place where a ratcheting screwdriver like is good is going into wood studs or something like that for me. But a lot of times with machine screws and stuff, there's just not enough tension on the screw that it just doesn't catch every single time. I can see, again, putting together furniture and stuff like that sometimes, I can see it being useful for certain situations, especially using it in the place where you would use a hex key or something like that. But it just seems like to me it's never worth it to me to have it. And because it doesn't work very often, that makes me not even switch it. I just keep it in the fixed position. And then by the time I'm in a situation where it actually would work well for me, I forget that it's even a ratchet screwdriver because I've been using it in the fixed position for so long. What's for dinner? Vegan said. Don't know, buddy. Jason, be ready. Do you miss the gimmicky tools Sears had during the Christmas season? Yeah, Sears was a pretty cool place, back in the day, to be able to go in and get tools and stuff like that. Of course, that was back when there wasn't really a whole lot of other places for you to even go get tools. But yeah, the old Craftsman Sears days. But yeah, there's John saying he's 22. Jacques says he's part of the 6%. I've dropped to the very bottom of that list now, so you've moved into a new age bracket, TPG. Approximately 648 women viewers. I mean, that's pretty surprising to me, to be honest with you. But not like because women don't use tools and those kinds of things. It's just, that's a lot in my opinion of 24,000. Just it's more of a male-dominated thing. Harrison's in the 6.5%. Jamie True said 800. Dinner is served back soon, TPG said. Wings and pizza, even Japan is tuning in. That's pretty cool. And then I did get somebody commented the other day and said, apparently, and I didn't even know I was doing it, but you can check a box, I guess, to allow Google to basically put your stuff in another language. And I just check any of that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter to me what they do. So, but he commented back and said, thanks so much for allowing YouTube to do whatever it was that it was doing, because now I wish I could remember where he said he was from, but basically it was translating me into whatever his language was as he was watching the video, not just subtitles, but actually like translating I kind of want to know what I sound like, because I'm pretty country as it is. I'd like to know what I sound like in some foreign language, but it might just actually be like an AI voice and not even have the twang like me, but I don't know. Plumbing with Keys says that's cool. Got to get back to work. Talk to you later, Morgan. See you, buddy. Yay for the 65 and plus, Robert said. Good year for the channel, but that's because you work hard to get the videos out. Shouldn't sub count per country add up to 100%? It doesn't look like it does with USA and Canada being around 75% and the other. Well, there's probably a bunch of, I don't know if I can't click on it here because I just got pictures. I'd have to get on my phone, but I'm sure there's like lots of randoms of 0.0 something or others would be my guess. I don't know that, but that would be my guess. I think it only lets me look at like the top 10 or something like that, but. Klein Pliers Wrench, Maurice Wiley said. He's guessing something, maybe the top video or something. Sears used to make a pair of pliers years ago that are exactly today's current Knipex. Yeah, I've had a few people comment that to me, and then whenever I was talking about, a lot of people always brought up the Robo pliers or something like that, and I think they were Craftsman. Whenever they were talking about the, I think I got them here in my toolbox. I think I got an extra pair. Yeah, the smart grips. You know, Craftsman used to have a pair. I think they were called Robo pliers or something like that. A lot of people mentioned about those. In any time I've ever mentioned these, there's usually some people that bring those up. My Home Depot finally, I've always wanted to see one in person. My Home Depot's got a Milwaukee toolbox out there. Like, and again, y'all probably seen them in your Home Depots forever. I've seen pictures of them online. I've seen them on HomeDepot.com, but they've never had it in the store. And mine's got like 4 or 5 of them sitting out there now. And I went over and looked at them today. And man, it's all I could do. I mean, I want one, but I don't think Miss Maintenance is going to let me swing one of those because I don't need it. But I kind of want one pretty bad. It's pretty nice, and it's a lot better than because they have a Husky one, which is what this is here, but this is a smaller one. They've got a Husky one that's pretty similar in size for like almost half the price, but the build quality is significantly different. Like whenever I was in there looking at both of them today, that's been on my radar. I've been wanting to get one, but I told Miss Maintenance I need it for the channel for decorations. It'd be my part of my set. But she didn't. I don't think she's going to go for it. Are you talking about rolling tool chest? Harrison said, yeah. It's I think the one I was looking at was, they've got 2 of them online that's kind of in that same, I think this one's like $8.98 or something like that. It's got a wood top on the top. They've got one that doesn't have a wood top on the top. It's got a little bit different drawer layout for the same price, I think. But I want to say it's like 56 inches wide, but it's the 20 something inches deep. That's what I want, because I had a Husky one at my last place that I worked. So if you watch any of my videos at the very beginning of the channel, some of those I filmed in here, and then some of those I filmed in my office where I worked at before I went out on my own. And I had a Husky black toolbox in there, and it was like a 24-inch deep drawers or something like that. I bought it specifically for my office with my own money. And then whenever I left there, I was like, I had built it in, and the guy that was going to be taking over, I was like, I'm just going to leave this toolbox here. You can have it, because I really don't want to pack it out of here anyways. And I didn't have anywhere to put it in here. I had this one here, and I wasn't going to use it much. So I was like, I'm just going to give it to you. And but ever since I've gotten rid of it, though, I'm like, man, I like those 24-inch deep drawers. Like, you can fit way more stuff, different stuff in those than what you can these 18-inch ones or whatever. I think, let's see what this says. Yeah, 18. This one I've got here is only 18 inches deep, but it's a big difference, that extra little amount, because certain things fit in there a whole lot different. So I do miss that about it. So, but the Milwaukee's kind of that way. Sears, where you could buy a TV, get school clothes, have your picture taken, and get tools all in the same place. Yeah, they had everything in there. Appliances, clothes. Yeah, what was the name of the picture taken? It started with the O, I think. The people who took the pictures. I can't remember that, but yeah, we used to always, every year you go get your portraits and stuff made. Like, not, I don't know that anybody ever really even does that anymore. Like at a place, some people might go to a photographer and meet you and drive around town and get a bunch of pictures taken all over the place. Olin Mills, somebody just said that's what it was. I knew it started with the O. I believe the old Sears, or maybe it was Craftsman pliers, but they used to be called Cobras. The Milwaukee one I've got has held up pretty good. I think I exceeded the weight limit with the tools, but it's been doing great for about 3 years now. That was the big difference I could tell between the Milwaukee and the Husky one whenever I was down there. And again, Husky's got like 3 different, they've got like a regular, I don't remember what they call it, standard something, pro or something. They got 3 different things where it steps up the gauge metal. And most of the cheaper Husky ones are fairly thin gauge. I think the Milwaukee's kind of what the middle of the Husky one is. But I could tell, like, all the Husky ones at my Home Depot have always just been, you know, the one like what I've got right here. My Home Depot doesn't carry a lot of toolboxes. That's why I said I've never seen a Milwaukee one in person at my Home Depot. But I could even just tell a difference in the drawers, like the feel of them and all that kind of stuff. And it just looks awesome, to be honest with you. It looks really good. BBQ Man, some YouTubers use AI to convert to any language. Not sure how it works, but it's pretty neat to see the same person speaking several languages. Yeah, I think that apparently there's something that you just check and say it's okay for YouTube to basically do that, because I guess you have to give them the okay because AI is doing it and they might mistranslate something or whatever. So since you're actually using my face and spitting out words, for me to be okay with whatever that outcome of those words are, because you could really make me say anything, I guess, if you really wanted to in that case. So I guess you have to okay it somewhere. Whatever it is, I check that box, because usually anything YouTube asks to do, I'm just like, I don't care, go ahead, whatever it is, like auto captions, auto chapters, all that kind of stuff. Harrison said, my Milwaukee one has a thin top layer of metal, so you want to make a topper for the box out of wood. I made mine out of PVC. Yeah, see, they've got that one. That's not the one they have in my store. That one's normally $9.98 or something, but they've got it on sale online for $8.98. But they've got one in my store that already has a wood top on it, and it's got it's the same size. The top drawers are the same, but the layout of all the drawers under the top, like the top long drawers, are exactly the same on both of them. But the drawer layout of the bottom ones are a little bit different. There's chicken fried steaks in here. Captain 41 said YouTube has tons of commercials using AI voicing over celebrities. Yeah, I see all sorts of shorts and stuff too, especially like Denzel Washington, you know, all sorts of like motivational type shorts where acts as if it's his, but you can tell like the voice is it's very similar to his, but it's such the same tone throughout that you can tell it isn't really him saying it. I've seen some of Elon Musk, a lot of different shorts of like things of supposedly him saying certain things, and I'm surprised, to be honest with you, you're able to do that. It seems like, what would that be called? I'm trying to think of the term that I would think that'd be called, where you're impersonating basically somebody, making it seem as if they are. Which actually now that I think about that, there is a box that you have to check when you upload a video that says something along the lines of, and I don't know exactly what it says, but it's like, does this video basically make it seem as if someone or something is something that it really isn't, or something along those lines, something like that. I can't remember what it is. I never do it, so I don't never check that box. But I guess you would theoretically have to check that box, and maybe there is somewhere, like if you click on that video and actually push on it, but how many people do that? Maybe it says this video was made and it's not really the real person or whatever. I don't know. I just bought Vera ball grip and the sports edition sets. I love the Vera ball grips, and now that you can get them like more so, like don't have to get them off Amazon Japan, I probably would get more of them, because I actually really liked them, but I was marring them up so bad because I was doing stuff with the tips of it, and I like to be able to read where I'm at, but they were very hard to get. But now you can get them on House of Tools and different places to where it's free shipping and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if they're on Amazon yet. I haven't checked to see if they're on Amazon yet. On US Amazon. They're on Amazon Japan. My toolbox is so narrow, I need a new US General, I think. Yeah, this one's 18, and it fits most of my stuff, but there's certain things where like it just won't lay in there because or I can't put everything in one drawer that I want to, that I'd be able to if it was deeper. The deep drawers are really nice. Like I said, I've never had one that had deep drawers, which that's kind of like those. Those are super, super deep. That's what I like about them. Depth-wise, like in and out, they're also deep, you know, height-wise too. But until I got that toolbox that I left at the other place, that's the first deep drawer toolbox that I bought, and I was like, man, this is pretty nice, especially that big top drawer. It's really nice for that to be really deep, because then you can fit all your sockets and all that kind of stuff in there. It makes a big difference. Do you have an opinion on the newish Milwaukee Supercharger? I don't have one. Like I said, I had a problem, or I felt like I had a problem. The very first rapid charger that I got, I don't remember if I got it with a tool I bought or if I bought one off of Facebook Marketplace or something like that. But that's when my M12 6.0 started going bad, which I think it's just because they were M12 6.0s. I don't think it was the rapid charger that maybe did it, but it just so happened to happen the same time. But I've got so many batteries that I basically I have enough in my truck to last me 100% all day with what I do. And then I just swap them out with batteries in here whenever I get home, the ones I've been using. So I have a charger in my truck, but I can't even tell you the last time I got it out to charge a battery. So I never need like that crazy fast time or anything like that. And I don't run 12s or anything like that either. I think the 8s are the highest ones I've got, and I'll put them in my vacuum pretty much and stuff like that. Most of the time I just use those in leaf blowers and stuff. I don't pack them in my tools other than like my uh, rear handle saw. Maybe yeah, that's pretty much about the only tool I use a high output battery, and my hammer drill. But I only use it in my hammer drill if I'm doing certain things because if I don't need the power, I don't want all that weight. Nice thing about that Milwaukee bench is the height. Yeah, I did notice it felt like it's definitely way taller than this one right here that I've got. Like it was almost like as I was standing there, I think it's probably about at least another maybe 8 inches taller than what this is. Like it's right here on me. So it would be like right there at hand height. I think it'd be nice. And the casters on it look really, really good. Like I said, it was a nice box. I had never seen one in person. And I'd always thought to myself, can it really be worth that much more money than a Husky? Is it just because it's got Milwaukee on it? But I mean, I can tell overall, like everything on it is nicer than the cheaper Huskies. Again, they might have some Huskies because they've got 3 categories of Huskies. I've never seen any of the higher ones. Maybe they're pretty good. I don't know. Clint Cole, just FYI, US General 56 will be on sale for $5.99 on Monday, December the 23rd. Nice. Vegan said he's happy with the supercharger. He did a quick review on it. Do you use trickle charge or maintain any batteries, i.e. generator or similar? No. Most of the time, which I'm almost all battery powered everything now. Well, I mean, hand tools wise and all that stuff. But as far as like equipment, I don't have any like big equipment at my house where I trickle charge the batteries on it. And then like during the lawnmower season, whenever I'm done mowing, I take my battery out of my lawnmower and put it in the garage or wherever, and then I don't even leave it hooked up, which I actually got to get a new battery for my lawnmower this year. The end of this year, it started pooting out on me, and but I was just trying to make it through because I didn't want to buy a new battery and put one in there, so I just kept jumping it every time. But no, I don't do any of that stuff either. Matt HMM must be working late. He's not in here. Or if he's in here, sometimes he says he comes in here and then it doesn't show him up on the chat for whatever reason. I don't know if that happens to anybody else. He acts like sometimes he gets in here and it won't ever show his comments and he gets mad. But it was Thursday night. That's typically whenever I've been able to go live, it seems like for the last few weeks for whatever reason. So today I've been, as far as what I've been working on, mostly the quadplex where we finally have it. They're actually putting the shingles on the roof today, so it'll be kind of dried in. So I'll be able to start actually doing some work there before too long. And then recruitment office phase 2, I just finished putting in chair rail and some window trim today. Now the painters got to go in there and do their thing. And then the only thing I've got left on the phase 2 part, we've got to go in and fix some drop ceiling tiles, but the electrician's got to go in there first and do some of his stuff. Because again, I'm just a subcontractor on that job. Basically, I'm doing all the framing, drywall, trims, stuff like that. And then tomorrow, I'm going to a doctor's office. They've got some electrical issues, they said, of some receptacles that's never been working since they went in, since they moved into the space. And then she sets a few other things or something like that. Like I said, I'd love to be able to film it because I'm sure it might be. I'm either thinking it's going to be something really interesting or it's going to be something so simple like a breaker's been turned off since they moved in, or a GSCI's tripped or something like that, which is probably what it's going to be. I'm looking forward to it, so I'm sure it's going to be something stupid and simple, but I'm hoping I get out my Klein Tracer and maybe have some fun with it. But again, like I said, with it being a doctor's office, you can be almost guaranteed I'm not going to be able to film anything because of all that HIPAA and all that kind of stuff like that. But I'm getting kind of caught up. I'm hoping I don't really work that much. Like I'm pretty much from here to the end of the year, unless it is a service call of some kind, I'm trying not to add on any kind of job that I'm even going to look at, because I don't plan on working much during Christmas and all that kind of stuff. Clint Cole said, reminder, everyone like and subscribe. Yeah, for sure, subscribe. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet and you're in that 20-something or 72%, do you use any solar generators to charge things at a work site, Bruce Johnson said. No, but again, I don't normally work on the job site that I'm on right now. That's the quadplex that we're GCing, me and a buddy of mine. That's not our typical stuff. I'm typically a interior commercial remodeler is what I call myself. I do occasionally like I'm gonna go Monday and look at somebody's bathroom to possibly remodel it because it's an older, they need to take out their bathtub and put in a walk-in type shower thing. I'm gonna go look at that, but typically I don't even do that kind of stuff in residential because I don't like working in people's houses that they're living in. Now, if it's an empty house, that's something totally different. But typically, I go into like me and a guy I work with, other than service stuff, and then occasionally I do stuff by myself like this. But we work together quite often. He's his own business, I'm my own business, but we just work together. He helps me, I help him. He helps me on my jobs, I help him on his jobs. But we go into places like stores in malls, stores in strip malls, stuff like that, and go in and, remodel those when a new tenant's moving in, whatever it is, stuff like that kind of stuff. And it's typically always metal stud framing, sometimes wood framing if it's allowable to happen that way because it's cheaper, and then hang drywall, finish drywall, do drop ceilings, do glue down flooring, floating flooring, carpet tile, vinyl base, wood base, cabinets. Basically from the shell being completed on the inside until it's done. That's the kind of stuff that I do. But what I'm getting at with that is typically I'm not working on a place that doesn't have power for the most part. Typically I'm always working somewhere that's got power, so I don't really have a need for any of that stuff. And even with this quadplex, the very first thing we did was get temporary power put out there to where I've got power for any of the tradespeople that are out there to be able to use it, or myself, whatever it might be. So Thursday is Friday for me, so I love ending my week with a live. Bam's Life said, not gonna lie, Joey, I might shock some people. I don't think I like the Knipex, but for weird reasons, to be honest. The Knipex, what Knipex in general, or a certain Knipex, or did I miss somebody saying something about Knipex somewhere? I've got, let's see, sometimes I can't find the chat button. I did miss some. I'm going up here now. John Xtera said, Albert Frederick Larun, hi, this is Albert. I'm just now tuning in. I like your channel. You've helped me optimize my loadout for the past year. Tool show up on your channel I've never seen. Merry Christmas. Appreciate that, Albert. You too, buddy. No, I don't see. I was looking to see if there was a specific Knipex that you guys were talking about. So Plumbing, let me know. Swedish pipe wrench he's got. I like it, but it's like I said, it's not a pipe wrench. I think I said that in my review for it. It's not a replacement for a pipe wrench. How I see mine is, I never had a pair of big Cobras. Like now I've got those Klein 12-inch I didn't have any Knipex Cobras that were this size or bigger or anything like that. Even though I really want I want the Knipex, like, what are they, 20-inch ones or something like that, 22-inch Cobras. I want it bad. Like this, I'm never going to use it on anything. I just want it because it's one of them tools that just looks like it's so beefy. But I see it as being like, if you've got a pair of these, like a 12-inch pair of Cobras or something like that, I don't really see where, I mean, they're a little bit thicker. Maybe if you was really cranking on them or something like that, it might be worth having the Swedish pipe wrench. But to me, it's basically a big pair of these, in my opinion. So if you don't have a big pair of these, then those might be handy. I've used mine to break free. I keep them in my truck just because every now and then I run into something where I just can't get enough oomph with a pair of Cobras or whatever that I've got in my truck, and that's all that I use those for. So they aren't, like I said, they're not a pipe wrench in my opinion, but they're nice to have if you don't have a big pair of Cobras. But then again, the cost of them, I don't know what the cost of those are versus a big pair of Cobras, because Knipex sent me mine. Busted out one of my older hitting battery drills, still works great, but I did notice the RPMs are much slower than my current Milwaukee gear. I did get these Milwaukee, I wish I'd have bought the brown ones now, but these are those, you said Milwaukee gear, even though you weren't talking about tools, it made me think of this. I ordered that 2-pack. I think I made a post saying, it was back when they were the deal of the day, and actually I thought it was a really good deal, but it's really about the same price right now, even though it's not deal of the day. They dropped it like $5. I think I saved $5 buying it on the deal of the day thing. But I got the gray ones. I started to buy the brown ones. I kind of wish I would have bought the brown ones now. And I may still, if they put them as a deal of the day again or clearance them a little bit more, I might buy the brown ones, because I can see the dark brown ones actually being better to work in, because you get dirty, it's not going to show up as much as what's going to show up on this gray. Hilti, busted out my older Hilti battery drill, he said. Do you do a lot of demo work? Only in the, so I've got, a lot of times I do smaller jobs too. So then, like, if it's only like one room or something like that. Now, if like we went into, where was it I just did something at? I'm trying to think of what that job was that I just did. They all start running together after some point, but basically if it's a lot, I'll sub that out. But yeah, I do a lot of demo work as far as just in small increment type stuff. But if it's going into a whole space, like the Bed Bath & Beyond, I did that, but that's because I had the time to do it, and me and my buddy was going to be able to handle that, and it's going to be an easy thing, because it wasn't like a messy demo type thing. It was just deconstruction of taking stuff apart and those kind of things. But typically if it gets into, I mean, we're just gutting a complete place, the whole entire thing, they're ripping out the electrical, plumbing, the whole 9 yards, then we'll sub it out. But if it's just this area that we're working on, then we typically do the demo too. And then I do any kind of job where it's just me, I do it. I don't hire any subs for anything. If it's just me doing whatever this job is at this space, at this person's house, at whatever, I do whatever it is, whatever needs to be done, because that's kind of the perk of someone picking me. So once they have me as a contractor, like, they don't have to call 17 people to get, and then they also don't have to try to line up this person to work behind this person. I'm the one call does it all type guy, and I think that's a big benefit for a lot of customers. That's why, you know, that's how I keep getting referred to other people and all that, because they're like, well, you can just call this guy and he'll do every bit of it type thing. So, what's up, Timinator? You have first thing to go on the job site as a tent pole. Yeah, very important to get that power. The tent pole and a porta potty. You got to make sure you got those two things. The 13-inch is useless, like, actually. John's Exterior said, hate the voice chat. You talking about you're chatting, like hitting it and saying what you want to say, maybe? Yeah, I don't even attempt that, because Siri does not understand me at all. The guy I work with, it's comical watching. He does everything that way. He's like, call so-and-so, text so-and-so, and he gets so mad at her. And then because she never gets him right the first time, those kinds of things. You talked me into your gray sweatshirt just purchased. Hey, I had a gift card. Yeah, I'm probably going to get I didn't get the brown ones because I thought, well, my vest is brown, but it's a total different color brown. But I was like, I don't want to put my brown vest over brown. You know, I went all crazy thinking about what color shirt I wanted. But ultimately, the more I think about it, I'm like, I should have just got the brown because like these are going to get like dirty and like you'll be able to see it plain as day versus the brown. You should be able to get quite a bit of stuff on that and you never know it. But I won't hardly wear these like on nasty job sites anyways. These are just stuff that I kind of wear under my vest. Like I wear nicer shirts under those anyways. So 22 Cobras are 137 versus the Swedish Pipe Wrench 22 is 168. A little too expensive for my channel right now. Hey Bub and everyone else, finally caught alive. Work got us the Menards version of the Fastback for Christmas gifts. It's not too bad so far. I saw those in there the other day whenever I think that's whenever I found that precision driver set that I think it's in my drawer up here, I think. Yeah. Whenever I picked up that deal, the precision drivers, I saw it was like 2 rows down from wherever that was. And I looked at it because I want to say it was even in a pack of, the one I saw was in a pack of 2 knives. Like one of them was like a fastback type knife, and then one of them was like a, you know, the retracting, like your standard type razor blade knife. And but it looked like the handles were a little bit bigger than the Milwaukee, which some people might like. Again, it all depends on your hand size. That's the same way I say about screwdrivers all the time. Some screwdrivers, some people may love them, and then some people could also hate them just based on your hand size because it's going to make everything be a different feel to it. Some way said, howdy y'all, made it. What I miss, gave away the whole place, but you had to be here at the very beginning. You missed it. Killtronics ended up buying the light you've been leaving on for the lives. That thing is handy. I wish it had a magnet on it. Yeah, I've been back and forth of whether or not I want to spend the money because I do too. I wish it had a magnet on it. It's out there in my truck now because we figured it out, so I don't have to have it in here. I think it's SKS sells because it'd be handy to have just in general, but I could use it on that light most of the time, and then if I needed it for something else. But they sell because I pretty much am probably going to always run a 5.0 in that tool. There's no reason really to run a high output battery. But I thought about there's a magnetic base that you can mount to the 5.0 battery. And a lot of people like mechanics and stuff use it on their impacts and stuff so they can stick it on their toolbox or whatever. But I thought about buying it just specifically for that light, but then I'd also have it if I needed it for something else. But man, the thing is like, I can't remember how much it is. It's like $50 something or something like that just for that little magnetic cap. But I can see it being useful. I probably will end up getting one at some point in time but most of the time, if I just run into that situation where I absolutely have to have a magnet, I just get out my M12 one and use it instead. But I do prefer that M18 one just for sitting it around. It doesn't tip over, all that kind of stuff. I like it better than the M12. It's a little bit bigger, but I like it better. Seen a lot of people say that, but where to place the magnet? Yeah, the only thing I could think of is to buy that magnetic. It's a boot that goes on your Milwaukee battery, not on the light itself, but it goes on your battery. So you, like I said, you could not only use it for that light, but if you could put it on your impact and stuff too, and stick it to stuff. I'm checking out the Lobster adjustable wrenches. Has some nice features. Yeah, a lot of people have recommended those to me. They're on Amazon US now too. I think you can get them there. For a while they weren't on there, but I think you can get them on there. Lobster adjustable wrenches, and there was something else that a lot of people recommended that I saw it on Amazon US here recently. That's like a brand that's more overseas type brand. The Fujiya, Matt recommends them to me all the time. Of course, those strippers that I just had a video for, they're not in there. Like I think Fujiya has like a certain line that's more of their higher line, kind of like that Gador's got Gador Red and Gador whatever. I think Fujiya's got like a black and gold line where I guess the materials are supposed to be something better. Maybe it's even made somewhere else. I don't know. Those strippers weren't in that line, but I still felt like they was pretty good. But apparently they've got like a better line of tools too. I don't have any of them. Matt talks about them all the time. If they would get rid of the massive hook on and put a magnet in its place. What do you use for wire strippers? Jason B. Reddy said 99% of the time the Knipex Forge wire, well, I won't say 99% of the time, probably 70% of the time the Knipex Forge wire strippers, just because I need more than 12 and 14 most of the time. If I'm only doing 12 and 14, I probably got those in here. I've got 2 pairs of those. Let's see. Yeah. I use the electrical installation pliers from Knipex. I prefer these over any of them that I've got. Like if I had my druthers and I'm only doing 12 and 14, these are the ones I grab just because I like the size of them the best. But the Forge wire strippers, it's hard to beat them because I can go from like 20 down to, you know, I think it goes down to 10 stranded, maybe 10 solid or something like that. And it's just got some different features on it, and it's cheaper than those. That's what's the craziest thing to me, is how those are cheaper than those electrical installation pliers. But those are the main ones that I use. And if you haven't watched any of the videos I talk about it, it's all because of this right here. I use MC cable a lot, and most strippers don't open up like that to cut MC cable, whether it's lineman pliers or anything. You can't. There's really very few pliers that open up like that, period, to cut MC cable that I can also turn around and strip wire with. Now I can obviously carry a pair of, you know, big cable cutters or something like that, along with a pair of strippers, cut MC cable, then do that. But I prefer just to carry one tool, and these have been the best for that. So that's what I use most of the time. And Knipex strippers are expensive. I'll just go ahead and tell you, but I've been on the same pair for like 2 years now, and there's no way I would have, I'd always have replaced my Milwaukee ones or whatever else. But again, you can buy like 3 pairs of Milwaukee ones for the same price of one Knipex. So, but that's how I feel like if I actually prefer the Knipex ones, and yes, they're more expensive, I'd rather buy the tool that I like using more and use it for 3 years than to buy a tool that I don't like using as much and still spend the same amount of money just over 3 years, instead of just paying it all out at one time and being done with it. Fujiya Korakin pliers wrench, or Kurikan, yeah, those are the ones that Matt tries to get me to get all the time. That's one of the few things that he hadn't taught me to get, but it's because I've got so many pairs of Knipex pliers, wrenches, and Cobras in the sizes that I use all the time. Again, I don't have a lot of, like, the 7 1/4s. I've got them in every bag, every drawer. I mean, any option of me being able to have them in something. If I've got something that I'm carrying tools in, it's got those in it. So it's just very hard for me to buy other ones. And then a lot of times the other brands, like this one here, I think, do they only have it in 10" or something like that? That's the thing I run into with a lot of the other brands. That's why I don't try them, because they only sell them like in the 10", because that's what most people use. But I don't run into needing that size pliers that much anymore for most of the stuff that I run into. And so I definitely don't want multiple pairs of 10". I do need a pair of 10" for whenever I run into it, but I don't want like bukus of pairs of 10" pliers, because I don't use them as much as what I used to. And I think it's just because the 7" Knipex stuff opens up so wide that you don't have to have a big pair of pliers as much anymore. Gotta get me some coffee. Has my microphone still been low again tonight as far as the sound for anybody? Just curiosity's sake, again, I don't have my new microphone yet. I'm just curious. I've been back and forth on whether I think it's my microphone or whether I think it's that iPhone update. That iPhone update, I don't like at all. I hate the way it's got my photos to work with it and all that kind of stuff. They're nice versus the Klein, which are garbage, Someway said. I don't mind the Klein pliers wrench. Again, I only got I didn't buy the big pair. I've only got the 7 1/4. I've only been using them a little while though. Do you use any laser guides or levels? Yeah, 100% laser levels all the time. 3-plane lasers. I tell people all the time, green 3-plane laser. If you don't own one and you do any kind of work like this, get yourself one. I don't know that I could go back to working without it. Woodchuck mic has been good for me. Sounds great to me, Clint said. It gets scratchy on the high end for me, but it might be the internet. Well, it might also be like, that's why I always typically put it up here on my hat. But then if I wear my hat like this, it's always a big shadow as far as if I'm out here. So I try to just do this so it's not. But I think whenever I move around, sometimes this rubs on my shirt and stuff too. That's why I don't normally wear it here. Tire Tootsie's union electrician reporting from California. In some way said 0.000. Yeah, because I use, let's see, who was that? Jason B. No, yeah, it was him too. I use Stabila digital levels as well. Big difference, in my opinion, of quality of how you can turn out your jobs as well with a digital level over just a bubble level. And the reason why I like Stabila's the best is because you get a bubble and the digital. Milwaukee's digital levels are only digital only. So that means if I just want to check something real fast, I've got to press the power on button, let it come on, let it do its thing, check it. And like, so if you just want to walk around hitting stuff real fast, that's why I didn't plus Stabila. Just makes the best levels anyways. That's why I went with Stabila, even though they're more expensive, but I can use it just as a bubble, just for general checking stuff without having to turn it on and off. But man, you get a digital level and then 3-plane laser level, you'll see your quality go like up here if you actually use them right and like use them as much as what you're supposed to. Because nobody's eyeball, I don't care how good you are, but definitely at my age, my eyeballs aren't anywhere close to what they used to be. You can look at a bubble all day long. The odds of you being at 0.00 like I can be with a digital level is 0.00. That's what your odds are, because nobody's eyeballs are that good to be able to say I am exactly in the middle of them two lines on both sides. Like you'll think you're close, and you will be. I mean, you'll be really, really close, but you're not going to be 0.00. What's up, Sarush? I almost bought the Vera Jokers plumbing. They're on Woot right now, which actually right now on Woot, and it wasn't a deal of the day. It's going on, I think, for 8 days or something. Some of that Vera stuff is back on there, even like the Zyklop that sold out and then ended up, I found it on eBay. It's back on there. It was this morning. I don't know if it still is or not, but the Tool Check Pluses were $55 again. They had some Knipex. They had the forged wire strippers for $44. Really good deal on those if you don't have a pair and you want some. And then the Jokers, they had the whole set, a set of 4 of them for like $115 or something like that. I started to buy them, but I still didn't. I still can't talk myself into spending that kind of money for those, just because I don't really see that I'm going to use them that much, to be honest with you. What's up, Shane? Appreciate that too, Plumbing. Appreciate that, buddy. See, never heard of the lobsters till now. I hadn't heard of them until people started mentioning to me. I've learned of so many tools just over the course of even watching YouTube videos before I started making my own. Like I started making videos probably only a few months after me kind of starting to watch YouTube videos. Like I never really knew there was, I mean, I would search something and it would come up on YouTube every now and then if I was working and trying to find a part or something like that. But I never really thought I didn't even know there was tool reviews and stuff like that on YouTube until like maybe 6 months probably before I started making my videos. And the only reason why I even started my channel was because I got the Klein flip socket and I was searching around for it to look to see where I could get it at. And then I was like, there wasn't anything. There wasn't any videos. I couldn't find it online anywhere or anything like that. And I went to the store and Milo's had it. So I'm like, well, I'm going to put this out there just so people know that it's out there, because I thought it was a pretty cool thing, because I love the Malcos so much that I was like, man, I've always been wanting more sizes of Malcos. They're not doing it. They haven't done it forever. Klein has at least came out with this thing, and I think it's pretty good. So I think a lot of people would want it. So I just made a video of it, and then it's just, I've kept making them. I didn't plan on continuing. I thought, well, I'll try it. Nobody's probably going to watch it, and then it'll fizzle out after a little while. But this just kept going because, again, it's people like y'all commenting on all the videos, subscribing and stuff like that. It just motivates me to just keep doing it. Like I said, I'm not doing it to be a business or anything. I'm not going to do it full time. I'm doing good, Sharush. You doing good, buddy? Just got into Woot thanks to Steve's Wood Shop, I think it was. Yeah, he's the one that put me onto it too. There's a 12.0 forged battery on there, Milwaukee forged battery for like 179 or something like that. That's where he sent me that. That was the first thing he sent me and said it was on Woot, but he said he had got it in the mail and it was a legit battery because he was curious if it was going to be like a counterfeit or something like that. But then, like I said, I didn't even know that Woot was a thing, and now I bought 4 or 5 things on Woot. Who are your favorite creators? I watch Perkin Builders Brothers all the time. I like it. And again, it's kind of just gotten into to where I just like watching them more so than even what they're doing. I've seen what they're doing my whole life. I'm not going to necessarily learn anything, but I just like watching. You kind of get into, they're like characters almost. And I like seeing what Jamie comes up with. He's a really smart dude. I watch Awesome Framers, same reason. He's a really smart guy. I watch, as far as HVAC people, I watch Mikey Pipe some. Steve Lavamore, I don't see his stuff come up that often. I used to watch a lot of his stuff, plumbing wise. And then Cool with Kraus, just because we kind of started our channel at the same time. And then I watch his stuff. Curtis, the HVAC guy. Adrian, HVACR. I can never remember what the name of his HVACR something or other. All 3 of them do that podcast, the HVAC nights. So that's kind of like in the R&R buildings. I watch him. R&R buildings and Perkins are kind of and Awesome Framers are kind of the overall builder people that I watch that just build stuff that I like watching. And then trade stuff. It's like I said, for some reason I like watching HVAC, which there's a lot more. It seems like there's a lot more HVAC people filming themselves working than anything else, as far as like electricians and plumbers and all that kind of stuff. It seems like HVAC people are on YouTube more as far as filming themselves working. But I'll watch just about anybody work. The handyman experience, I can't remember. I don't remember what his actual name is, but I think it's the handyman experience, where he's always, I'll get you some shots. I watch him a lot. Ray's apartment maintenance, I watch his. The handyman, I've been watching. He's one of the first ones that came up whenever I started watching his stuff. He doesn't do as much like stuff as like what he used to anymore. As much work stuff, it doesn't seem like, or he kind of spreads it out. And then there's some stuff on his what's it called, Patreon or whatever it is, something like that. But those are the ones that are on the top of my head. But there's several people, like even like tool wise, I watch like Last Best Tool, Project Pine Hills. There's several people like that. Plumbing's on here. Anytime he puts something up, I watch that. And again, I don't comment on a lot of people's, like you won't see me commenting on as many people's videos because I watch so much YouTube on my TV and not my phone, and I can't really comment. But every now and then I'll be watching on my phone, and you'll see me maybe comment on some places. I try to, for sure, like if it's to get on my phone and comment if it's somebody in particular. But I got a Joker in the 19 millimeter range if you want to try it, Joey. I got 2 of them off of Mac. Quaz, yeah, 3 points of contact, stress-free corners, jaws allow you slip on and off parallel, and spring ball tension and knurl nut. Good price. I still recommend the Joker wrenches, but I do think for the money you can buy more versatile pliers. Shrew said he's doing fine. Mikey is too much for me personally. He's a little too loud, and I'm a New Yorker saying that. Yeah. I haven't watched a lot of his stuff here lately, like it did, but it's not coming up as much for me. And I know he still puts them out on the regular because he's pretty consistent on putting out stuff all the time. But like I said, you're at the how YouTube works. I think is like if you ever miss somebody's videos for a little while and you just watch some other people's, like it totally changes what they show you type stuff. I think that's why you end up with 72% of people that watch your stuff are not actually subscribed to you, because even though you're subscribed to somebody doesn't mean you're going to see their stuff unless you've watched them in the last little bit. And I think that's a big thing for staying like in, maybe that's why I don't have as many subscribers and stuff like that too, is like you have to be really consistent and putting out stuff pretty often, because again, if the more somebody stays in your feed, the more that they're going to view your stuff, and that might make it to where your subscriber watches is more than the other. Like, you know, Last Best Tool puts out a ton of videos all the time. I mean, almost every day it seems like I get on there and there's a Last Best Tool video to watch, but that probably keeps him in the feed all the time to where he doesn't, oh, I missed him for the last, like Man Caver Tools. I said, I don't remember the last time I've seen anything of his. I saw his name on that list. I can't think of the last time I saw a video of his, but it's because even though I'm subscribed to him, I haven't seen a video of his, so they're not putting it in my feed to be able to see those things. So unless I specifically go down my subscribed list and see, oh, has he brought out a new video yet? It's not going to show it to me. R&R Buildings and Perker Brothers are top for me too. I feel like there's very little plumbers on here. Yeah, I don't see, like I said, I can't think of very many plumbers or electricians really that, you know, the Simon Electrical, he mostly, I see his in the short feeds a lot. Every now and then there'll be another video. His is pretty good for the most part, but I don't see very many. And then I watch a lot of, for whatever reason, I love watching the drain stuff, like the Drain Addict. I've been watching his stuff for a long. He's probably one of the first YouTubers that I started watching was the Drain Addict. I think maybe he's in Australia or something like that. But yeah, for whatever reason, I like watching people clean drains out too. What about tool creators? Yeah. Like I said, Last Best Tool, Project Pine Hills, Tool Review Zone stuff comes up in mine pretty often. I don't see very much. Back whenever I first started, again, I got into YouTube about the same time I made this channel. It was putting VCG Construction up there a lot. They're another one where I don't really see very many videos from them anymore. I know they put them out there, but I don't see them as often. And then, yeah, because basically whenever I first started watching YouTube, Man Caver Tools was on there a lot. Tool Boss, that's kind of my tool deal guy. I started watching the Tool Boss. That's how I learned about the hack for Milwaukee. That's where I started buying a lot of Milwaukee tools. And then VCG Construction Tool Review Zone. I never really got much into the Den of Tools. I've seen it, but I don't really watch a lot of his stuff. That's the only ones off the top of my head that I can think of. I mean, other than I'm talking of the bigger name ones that people would know. I mean, there's other ones on there that I watch. Thoughts on PB Swiss ratcheting handle? I had it, I gave it away, but that's just because I don't like ratcheting screwdrivers. But it was a pretty good like as far as the feel of it, I liked it. As far as the ratcheting mechanism on it, it seemed like it was really good. I just knew that I paid a lot of money for it because it was the thing where I'm a person where if I see enough people talking about it, I'm just get curious about it. So I ordered myself one because I was curious. I kept the Insider. I've always got it back here, but it's not I don't like the grip on it as much as the regular PB Swiss grip. But I ended up giving it away just because I knew it was a screwdriver that needed it. Like in my opinion, that's a really nice ratcheting screwdriver. I didn't want it just sitting around and not do anything, so I ended up, I think maybe it was Alabama Hammer in here a minute ago. He might have been the one that won it. I don't remember. I thought I saw maybe his name in here a minute ago. I was going to say, I think he won it. He might have it and be able to tell you. I didn't use it that much before I gave it away, so again, I gave it away, and like I said, I'm not saying it was a bad tool, and that's why I gave it away. I mean, what kind of person would I be if I just gave away bad tools? I gave it away because it was a good tool, and I knew I wasn't going to use it as much as what somebody else probably would. Somebody else would get it, I mean, be their favorite screwdriver of all time. So I just wanted to make sure somebody else got it and used it. Seen y'all talk about Joker 4-pack, didn't know they existed, but I bought them. Not into original style adjustable wrenches, but like the Joker and the pliers wrenches. See, just got my dad the 20-volt DeWalt blower. He hated his flex volt blower. Southern California checking in. Hope all is well, the outdoor dude. Because Doc's got dough. He goes through so much stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see like his garage. Like, I'd love to see, like, I don't know if he's ever done it. If he did, I missed that video. But I mean, I'd just love to see the mass of the kind of tools like he's got. Like, he's got quite a bit of stuff. That's what I told somebody one day. I said, I aspire to be Doc over at Last Best Tool with my tools. But, you know, you buy tools for long enough. If you're a tool like nut like what I am, and I even get rid of some, you know, sometimes people that are like me, you hold on to every single one of them because you don't like getting rid of any of them. But I have to purge every now and then, whether I sell it on Marketplace, whether I give some away to people, you know, locally or whatever it might be. Because I start to get a little bit of, and I also, again, I don't like tools to just not be being used like 100%. Like, if there's something that I know somebody's going to get really good use out of it, I just as soon go ahead and I'm not going to use it really all that often. And I'm definitely that way with screwdrivers and stuff. That's because I got way too many. So that's why that PB Swiss, I'm just like, I've got too many. I'm not going to use this enough. It's too nice a screwdriver for me to just let it sit around here and do nothing. I'm going to go ahead and give it away. Tool Boss is the OG. Yeah, he's the one that got me into, he was one of the first people I started watching on YouTube too. And like I said, I didn't know anything about the hack at Home Depot or anything until I watched the Tool Boss, and then I went and started buying Milwaukee tools, and he's the one that got me hooked on it. What's up, Wacky Waylon? Jason B. Ready says white or dark meat. He's asking some questions. Actually, it used to be that I liked white meat more so, but I like dark meat probably better now. I think you taste change as you get older. Like, most kids like white meat. And then, what's up, Wyatt the Pilot? What have I missed so far? You got a shout out earlier. You're in the small percentage age group. Whenever I went over the channel details for the year, like what percentage in each age group are subscribed to me, and you're in a small number. Do you check out tools and stuff out of New Zealand? He's a Makita and Hikoki fanboy like me, but does fair head-to-head tests, very entertaining tools and stuff. I think I've seen some of his videos. Yeah, I think so. That sounds familiar to me. I'm probably subscribed. I don't have I need to just get on. I don't have my Publix. There's just a box you got to check to let people see who you're subscribed to and who you're not. And my box isn't checked. It never has been for whatever reason. I've never thought to go in there and check it. But I think I'm subscribed to tools and stuff. I'm pretty sure, because I know I've seen several things. Wyatt says, I'm thinking of buying the M12 Brad Naylor and the new Stubby. Thoughts? They're both pretty good. I haven't used the new Stubby a ton. I've just been playing around with it. I haven't like used it. But the M12 Brad Naylor, I'm glad I've got it. Again, if I didn't have the M18 Brad Naylor, I shoot long nails enough that I would still want the M18 Brad Naylor. And if I could only have one, I'd buy the M18 Brad Naylor if I had both M18 and M12 batteries. If I only have M12, like I've got a video for the M12 Brad Naylor that specifically like kind of says all this, but if I'm only in M12, then it's a no-brainer. That's the only nail gun you can buy, so you might as well buy it. If I'm in M12 and in M18, that's a lot of M's to say in a row. I do a lot of work where I have to swap back and forth between 2-inch nails and like 1.25-inch nails. So what I've done is I leave my M18 set up with the 2-inch nails, and I leave my M12 set up with the 1.25-inch nails. and then I don't have to swap nails back and forth. Basically, I get out my M18 for the longer nails, I get out my M12 for the shorter nails, and most of the time I'm just getting out my M12. But every now and then I've got to have those long nails, so that's how I've got mine set up. So I've got both. If I could only have one, if I was in M18 and in M12, I would buy the M18, just because you're going to run into needing 2-inch nails every now and then. And then the other factor is, do I have a 16 gauge nailer and a 15 gauge nailer? If I've got a 16 gauge nailer or a 15 gauge nailer, I would buy the M12 if I could only have one, because I'll just use those two for my long nails and then use my M12 for the short nails. And then I've got the best of both worlds there. So it really all depends on what tools you have, but the M12 is a good nailer in my opinion, as long as it's that size where you can only go up to like 1 5/8 inch nails or something like that. That's kind of stinks. And it's got enough power in my opinion. I think it could shoot 2-inch nails. They probably did it just to make it a hair smaller, but I personally feel like they probably did it just so that people would not buy the M18 brad nailer, because if the M12 at its size did 2-inch nails, nobody would go buy that M18 one ever again. So I feel like that was in the design of it personally. That's just my thoughts. How can I hide some spur of the moment purchases from the wife? You got to start your own business and get yourself a business credit card and checking account and all that kind of stuff. And then it's just a business expense. Why did I ask the same question? Morgan Maintenance said they gave away the shop. Clint Cole said dark meat as well. M12 stubby only performs up to 500 foot-pounds with a 5.0. Why at the Pilot? I do more smaller projects, so if I need more than 2-inch brads, I just use screws. Yeah, that's another thing you can do is buy, which I use trim screws a lot now, like for certain things, just because like even putting in doors and stuff where I used to maybe would nail it off, I like the control of screws more than nails. And I like the fact that, oh, I don't really like how this is turning out for me. Now I can loosen this screw up, or I can take that screw back out altogether. I don't have to get a Sawzall out and try to cut something off. So you could do that, like buy M12, use it for the most of your stuff, and then buy you a pack of, 2-inch, 3-inch trim screws, and use that anytime you need big stuff. I would probably even recommend, for the most part, to anybody today, unless you do a ton, I wouldn't buy like a 15 gauge and 16 gauge nailer. I'd probably use trim screws all the time, like if it's up to me, just because it just seems like it's going to be, you get more control, really strong. You can make it do what you want to, as far as if you need to adjust something to tighten it fast, tighten it up against something, or kind of back it out a little bit. You can't do that with a nail. Once you shoot it, it's in there, and it may squeeze it tight, it may hold it off a little bit, and you got to hammer it or whatever. I have tended to start using trim screws a lot more. Well, it's almost 7 o'clock, which means it's almost Thursday night football time, so I'm going to go ahead and probably go in there and watch some football. But it was Thursday night, and I just got that email with all those statistics, so I thought I'd share them with you guys. More than anything, just to thank you guys for subscribing, if you've subscribed over the last year, or if you subscribed just in the whole scheme of things. Again, it baffles my mind that I've got more than 10 subscribers, but all the views, all the clicking on the affiliate links, all that kind of stuff, all that does is help me buy more tools so that I can make videos and let you guys know what's out there and that kind of stuff ahead of time, maybe, if at all possible. But more than anything, just to give you my thoughts on it. As I always say with my channel, my goal is not to push a tool on you. My goal is, I bought this tool because I wanted it. Here it is. Here's what it does. Here's what it would do for you. You can buy it if you want to. You don't have to buy it if you don't want to. It's not going to hurt my feelings either way. I bought it because I wanted it. So whether or not you want it's two different things. But hopefully I help people make, I try to just basically say, here it is. Maybe I helped you decide that you didn't want it, and I just saved you 30 bucks, 50 bucks, whatever it is, and because you thought you would have wanted it until I showed you something. Or maybe it was something that you didn't know that you wanted until I showed it to you, and you're like, oh, that would work really well for me. and it's the best 30 bucks that you might ever go spend, you know, that kind of thing. So that's the go behind it all, and I'm just glad it helps people out. More than anything, I like talking back and forth with people. There's nobody that I work around that's a tool nut like me for the most part. You know, some people might like tools. I've kind of converted the guy that I work with into a little bit of a tool nut, but he's not anything like what I am. So just being able to come into chats and stuff like that and talk back and forth with people that are more like, you know, what I think about tools as well. I think it's been awesome. That's what I like the most about the whole entire thing. So, but I appreciate everybody. If I don't do another live before Christmas and you celebrate Christmas, I hope y'all have a Merry Christmas. And then we'll see what happens in 2025. Hopefully some really awesome tools will come out there. We'll see what comes out. But do appreciate all that. Let's see, Sunway said, don't go, Joey. Woodchuck, great live chat, and thanks and Merry Christmas. Armor 15, Merry Christmas. Plumbing said, see ya. Let's see, Wyatt said, friend gifted me the Craftsman made in the USA brushless impact. I'm super impressed with it. It's overperforming my old Milwaukee brush drills. So I haven't ever run any of the Craftsman stuff, like as far as power stuff. I don't know anybody's got it. So Jason, be ready. Said Merry Christmas to you too, buddy. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here, go watch some football. Wyatt the Pilot said Merry Christmas too. I just saw that pop up. Appreciate that. Abraham said Merry Christmas. Y'all going to keep it going, so I can't get off here, I think. I'm going to go ahead and get off here, but appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all on the next video. Google account, great channel. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Clint Cole, Merry Christmas. See if anybody jumps up the next second. I'll see y'all on the next one.